Sun Raes. Welcome back to my channel. It's Ray. If you're new here, welcome. You know I am doing a Black Power series that I launched when I talked about the bonnet in a previous video. So I just wanted to come to you with another video in that series, and this one is going to be sharing with you books that I think that you would be interested in. These are not hard reads. These shouldn't be reads that's going to make you really sad. Is there thought-provoking things in the books? Yes, but it is not one of those books that take you all the way back to our ancestor times or slavery times and make you get in that frame of mind where you know, are sad, or you want to fight, or you want to retaliate, or whatever feelings come up and are provoked when you read or watch movies that share the things that our ancestors have had to go through to get us where we are today. So they're not those kind of books. These are just books that I have read or am reading or want to read that some of the Black people in our generation have written or has been wrote about. So you understand what I'm saying? So some of these people have written their books, some of them have written their books along with someone else, but it is about Black people that I think is interesting, and that is going to be easy reads for this month if you're interested, where you can just get you a glass of wine on a Saturday and just sip wine and have an easy read, or a hot tea or lemonade or whatever it is that you like to drink, and just read about the life of this person who in some way has impacted our world in some way, and from being an artist to being an athlete to being president, whatever. So they have impacted our world in some way, and these books are just their memoirs or their autobiographies, just to kind of sharing with you how they got to where they are, the struggles they had to overcome, the good and the bad throughout their careers, and so forth and so on. So I just wanted to share them with you. So the first book that I want to share with you is by Trevor Noah. It's called Born a Crime. I started reading this on the plane when I was on my way to Jamaica, and it is an easy read. Now, I am going to be honest with you, there is a lot of foul language in here. He does not hold back, but he is a comedian, and he brings a lot of humor to this book. So it's a book that you can get through it pretty quickly. If you are not familiar with South Africa, apartheid, things of that sort, he explains some of that in this book, so that helps you to know a little bit more about it. He talks a lot about growing up in South Africa with his mom, and so a lot of the book is about her, but there are some really funny parts in here, and I just thought it was a pretty easy read and a good book. So I do want to preface that there is some foul language in here, so just be on the lookout for that. If you're not into that, then this may not be for you, but because it is engulfed in so much humor and interesting information, you know, I was able to get through the book. So I like this book. He has a show now, I think it's called The Daily Show, but if you've never watched him on his television show, and I think because of COVID, I think he's kind of moved it to YouTube or whatever, you may try to catch him on that. But that's a nice, easy, fun read that will teach you something, and just kind of see how a little Black boy from South Africa made his way here and up to being a comedian and a television show host. So another book that I read was the Gabrielle Union book. It's called We're Going to Need More Wine. It looks like this. This book is a very easy read. It talks about her growing up in high school, feeling less than, goes through her life very quickly, but it goes through her life. It talks about a tragedy that she went through, how she has overcome it, and you know, she's where she is today. So again, she does have some few little curse words in here or whatever, but it's a nice, easy read. Something that some ladies would be able to relate to as far as color issues, colorism, loving the color of their skin, or feeling uncomfortable in their skin, growing up in certain areas of town and certain schools and things like that. So she touches on a lot of that in this book as well. But anyway, it was a pretty easy read. And another one that I got and read is a little bit thicker. It is the Michelle Obama book called Becoming. She did a tour on about this book, and it's a pretty good book too. Talks about, you know, growing up with her family, her grandfather, and how the men in her family, you know, were very intelligent, but just didn't get the chance to do really what they wanted to do because of the times and stuff like that. And so how, you know, some of them were angry, but you know, it goes through her life. It talks about her grandparents, it talks about her parents, her relationship with her brother, her father, the things that her father sacrificed even though he had an ailment, and how he still took care of them and so forth, to the time that she met Barack, and anyway, on up. So this is a really, really good book, a little bit thicker. So if you wanted to know a little bit more about our former First Lady and former President, then this is a good book to read this month. Another book that I started reading, I got for Christmas, and it is more myself journey book on Alicia Keys. So this one I am reading with my cousins. We're like a little book club so we're reading it together, and we're going to discuss it and stuff like that. So, but this one is a really good book so far too. Goes into her, you know, being a child, how she got into modeling, how she was set expectations for herself, and then in one fell swoop, some of those expectations that she said she would never do, she actually let happen to her, just because of letting people control or being a people pleaser and not wanting to disappoint. So she did things that wasn't necessarily her. So that's just kind of the gist of some of what I've read so far. And so that's why it's called Becoming More Myself, because as she has gotten older, she is learning that it's about her. Who is she really? Not who people want her to be, not who people think she is, but who is she, finding herself living authentically as Alicia Keys. So this is a pretty good book. So easy read again. Kick back, put on your little lounge wear, put on your sweats, put on whatever it is that you wear on the weekend. And like I said, get in a corner somewhere and just relax and read a book. Have you a little something to drink and everything, and just let your mind go somewhere else and get out of everything that's going on right now in the world. Another book that I got, two of them. These I have not started reading yet, but one is by Lamar Odom and Chris Palmer. It's his memoir, Darkness to Light. If you guys know about Lamar Odom, he did play in the NBA. He was married to Khloe Kardashian. He had an addiction, went into a coma, all that. So these are his memoirs, and he's just talking through his life, what he went through as a child, how he became a father, you know, at a young age, how that molded him, and things of that sort. So I haven't read it all. I just kind of read the preface of the front to kind of get an idea of what the book is about. But I just wanted to read it, see what his story is, because everybody has a story. We look at these people on TV as they're entertaining us, or as they're playing ball, or as whatever. We look at these people and we think their life is so grand and they have no problems and they got money, they can buy whatever they want, do whatever they want. And a lot of times these people have the same amount of problems as we do, if not more, you know, and they're people too, and they are not exempt to going through things, having addictions, having low self-esteem, whatever the case may be. So I just like to, you know, hear people's story and hear how they overcome and hear what they had to go through to get to where they are. Because a lot of people think, okay, we see them and we just think, oh, it must have been so easy. They were just, you know, they could really sing as a kid, so they just became a singer. And no, a lot of times they've had a lot of doors shut in their faces and they've had to just press on. A lot of them have been hungry before and living in cars and all kind of stuff. So to kind of get down to the nitty-gritty of who somebody is and behind the scenes of who somebody is, and not who is just portrayed on TV, is interesting to me. I don't know if it is to you or not, but it is to me. So that's why I have these books, and that's why I am recommending them to you for Black History Month. Now, I do want to say, have not delved into this, so I don't know if there's any foul language in it or anything like that. So, you know, read at your own risk. And then last but not least, I got for Christmas as well, and it is The Promised Land by Barack Obama, and this is a thick one and it's heavy. Have not started reading this one either, but I've seen him do some interviews about it recently on TV, and I was intrigued, or I wanted to get it, and I got it for Christmas as a gift, and I cannot wait to read it. This one, just reading the inside and back cover, again, it is talking about his time at the presidency, how it affected he and Michelle and their children, how he had to overcome certain things, you know, to get where he is, how he had to fight certain injustices because of the color of his skin, and, you know, being president, and just, you know, people betting against him, basically people betting against him, and how he made it. Now, this one is raw. They said he is very frank in this book. Just open it up. I did see a curse word in it. I don't know how many is in here, but I'm assuming that there are more than one. And he is no longer president, so he can let it all out and lay it on the line. So I'm just saying, and I am intrigued to read about it, because I always knew that he was up against a lot. With our culture and our day and age, he was up against a lot, and just knowing that certain things he wanted to get passed while he was in office wasn't able to get passed because he was, for one, the Democrat and Republicans didn't want to get it passed or whatever was one reason, but a lot of it I think was just because of who he is and the color of his skin. But so, you know, on the surface that he had to go through that stuff, but hearing him talk about it out of his own mouth, and how things made him feel, and how he had to suppress certain things to still be presidential, and just the things that he had to bite his tongue on and stuff like that, probably while he was in office. I want to hear all about it. So I think this is going to be a great read, and yeah, I just wanted to share these books with you guys. So again, I do read fiction, don't get me wrong. I read fiction, I read autobiographies, I read nonfiction, whatever I like to read. I read romance, or I read suspense, all of that. But for this particular Black History Month, I just wanted to come and highlight some Black people in our generation who we have seen, who we see on a daily basis, who our kids look up to, who some of us may look up to, and hear what they've had to go through, what their background was like, and how they got to where they are today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you will pick up one of these books if you haven't already. If you have any of these books and you read them, let me know in the comment section what you think about them. Share with others to make, because maybe I'm leaving out something, and maybe something will intrigue something that you say will intrigue someone else to want to go out and get one of the books to read. If you have not read any of these and don't have any, and you feel like you want to go pick one up based on this video, let me know what book that is down below. Maybe we can talk about it in the comment section. I'd love to do that with you. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, make sure that you're following me on Instagram, and until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.